Yeah. Well, Coach, how happy are you to be back out here again and kind of getting back into the groove?
I'm very happy to be back out here. It used to be I love summers, but now I like the fall better. It's kind of a little more normalcy. We got a brand new group, so we had about half the team is new, so it's exciting. But we got a lot of teaching going on and a lot to implement.
Talking about some of those new guys, Westy and Foskey, they both mentioned two names, Mason Land and Austin Kelly. What is it about those guys that have been so impressive?
I just think they show a little bit of maturity. They both have really good swings. So to this point, we've done a lot of swinging. Just BP, just trying to get them in shape. And so I think those guys will stand out a little bit. It'll be fun to see how they, play in the games and interact in the games.
What about some of those new arms? Who are some of those guys that have looked pretty good?
Well, we had Logan Tanner threw pretty well the other night. He threw hard the other night. I don't know if he threw enough strikes, but I think he will in time. But we've had a lot of guys out there, throwing well. It's nice to see Christian McLeod back. A lot of the new guys are throwing today, so it'll be fun to watch them. I've been watching their bullpens, but we're excited about the whole group.
When you have a lot more familiarity with this team than you did a season ago, does that change the way you run practice and run this camp?
I think so. I mean, it's and it's a little bit more of ours. Last year we took over an Omaha team and a really old team, so you're dealing with not wanting to change the dynamic too much. We're probably implementing a little bit more right now because we have more new guys, but also this time last year we were in a construction zone, so that we had most of the field, but it was really stressful learning the new team and going through this construction zone. This year having all our facilities available has been huge.
For you, just how much more comfort is it walking into year two? I know you're not having to adjust to guys aren't having to adjust to you. How much just easier is the offseason?
Yeah, it's always easier. I mean, year two is always a big year, though. I mean, it's when you really start to see yourself, and I was a lot more comfortable with Jake Mangum and Ethan Small. I can tell you that, but there's got to be a new Jake Mangum and Ethan Small, and that's the fun part about it. But we do have a better comfort level. The staff knows each other better. The team knows each other a little bit better and knows our staff, so it should be fun.
A lot of
have Foskey and Westy in that infield to kind of solidify things.
Man, I tell you, just watching them day in and day out, they're great players, and man, they get after it, and they practice really hard. So it's you talk about leadership, just having your young kids watch these guys take ground balls, and we feel like we have the best middle infield in the country, offensively and defensively.
What's harder to replace, production or leadership?
That's a really good question. I'm serious though. I mean, we've talked about it, and I just mentioned Ethan and Jake, but you had such type A personalities and alphas, and that's a piece that we're going to have to really work to replace. Luckily, we have some of those guys back, and we have a good core back, but it is very true, especially in this league. You play in big environments, you play with a lot of pressure a lot of times, and so the ability to handle that is huge.
You talked about the stability of the middle infield. On the corners, who are some of the guys that you're looking for to sort of take over there?
At first base, right now we have Tanner Allen and Josh Hatcher, who I know can play first base. And so we're playing them in the outfield a lot right now, seeing if they can mix and play in the outfield. And then at Christmas, I can move them back in. Brandon Pimentel, a JUCO player from Texas, is playing over there a lot. Mason Land's really a middle infielder, but he had Tommy John last year, so he's still not in the throwing segment. So we're playing him there, and then Casey Hunt is playing there a little bit too. Some of our infielders are moving over. But safeguard is I can bring Tanner Allen back and he can play first, but trying to see if he can play right field. Then at third base, that's where our battle. All the infielders go to third right now because they don't run to behind Westberg or Foskey usually, and that's where the competition's at. So you got Landon Jordan, Cameron James, Tanner Leggett, Noah Fondren, two of those new JUCO infielders are battling over there at third.
Do you see Rowdy as a guy maybe stepping up, taking over that leadoff role?
I hope so. He swung it really well to this point, and he's playing center field, made a great catch on Friday night. The leadoff role's a really unique spot, though. You got to be able to, and we had a unique leadoff. He was a great leadoff, but he was a swing leadoff, and Rowdy's the same type of guy. And I don't mind it as long as you hit 360, 370 and your on-base percentage matches it. But Rowdy has to, there's some pieces there Rowdy has to learn about being the leadoff.
Westy was saying that obviously you guys bring in some JUCO guys, and with a number of seniors leaving, I mean, how much does that help just with bringing in kind of an older bunch?
Well, we knew we had to have some older kids. So the JUCO guys and some grad transfers. We have a couple grad transfers and JUCO guys because we knew we were losing so much. And it's hard to replace with freshmen. Freshmen here and there, and what JT did was really special. But to rely solely on freshmen makes it tough to win at a high level.
What about Sarantola? What are you seeing from him so far? I know it's early, but what are your thoughts about him after summer?
Well, we're excited about him. He ended up pitching in the what is it, World Showcase, the World Cup with Team Canada. So he is just now starting back to his throwing program right now. So he's really just been standing around and watching us, been doing his weight room and everything else. But we're excited about him. We feel like he can fight for one of those weekend spots.
From a health perspective, coming into camp, everybody pretty much where you want them?
Everybody is good right now. We have one of our freshmen, Mason Land's coming back from his, and we have another freshman rehabbing. But besides that, we have everybody on board.
What about JT's availability in the fall?
He's going to throw. He's in his throwing program right now. He's probably got a couple more weeks till he starts throwing in scrimmages. Probably throwing about 3 or 4 scrimmages there. Not in heavy. Just wanting to get him back out on the bump, get him some work.
JT, any lingering stuff from the stuff at the tail end of the season? Nothing there?
No, he's full, bro. He was here all summer. Worked out hard, in great shape, and ready to compete.
Tanner and Justin were obviously playing with Team USA, and you got to be a part of that too. What was that like, and for those guys to be able to play with that crew?
It was pretty cool. I had 2 of my college teammates coaching with me. And we really had Tanner and Justin and Westy was with us for a long time that I was there. It was a cool experience. And then I didn't get to go overseas with them. I had to come back and do camp. So, but they went overseas and got to experience that. And to be able to stand on the line with your players and your former teammates and wear the stars and stripes and listen to the national anthem, it gives you a little more perspective.
Who was it with? Was it Dan and Tony?
Dan McDonald from Louisville and Tony Skoll from the Citadel. So we had the 3 Citadel. I played first, Dan played second, Tony played third during our career there. So it was pretty cool to have most of your infield there.
And I know Westy obviously was hitting he was hitting 380 up in the Cape at the end of the season.
Yeah, it was great. You know, Westy, and it shows you make something. He got cut from Team USA, flew back, got his card, drove up to the Cape, and became one of the best players in the Cape. So it just shows you, you can't put your head down and feel sorry for yourself. He went back there, and we talk about it. I mean, it really helps your draft stock and everything else when you're hitting the Cape. So it was good for him.
Nice to see him just getting a little more contact with the stuff at the tail end of the season.
I think so. Sometimes in this game it'll beat you down, so it was a fresh start, and he's playing really well right now. He had some nice at-bats, but he's been swinging it very well to this point.